So, I want you to go to a place in your mind.
Okay.
It's 2:15 p.m. on a Tuesday. You are sitting in a conference room with, beige walls, or maybe you're just staring at a grid of pixels on your screen.
We've all been there.
Someone is talking. They've been talking for 12 minutes straight about quarterly projections or synergy.
Or something equally dry.
Exactly. And you are physically there, your camera's on, you're nodding, but mentally,
God.
you are completely checked out, you're thinking about what to have for dinner, and the only coherent thought in your brain is, this is an absolute total waste of my time.
I think you just described the universal baseline experience of the modern employee. We have all been that person.
We really have, and we
Yeah.
complain about it constantly, right?
Yeah.
Meeting culture is broken. This could have been an email.
It's a bonding ritual.
It is. But today, we're doing a deep dive into a new article from the Phoenix Performance Partners that takes that complaint and, well, it completely flips the script.
It's a provocative piece.
It is. I have to be honest. When I first read the core premise, I got defensive. I felt personally attacked.
I can see why. It's not looking to make friends, it's looking to shake things up.
No kidding. The article drops this absolute bomb of a sentence near the beginning. It says, "The meeting didn't fail you. You failed the meeting."
That is the ouch moment. It definitely stings.
It stings. It feels like victim blaming. My immediate reaction was, excuse me, I didn't call this meeting. I didn't create this agenda.
Right. I'm the victim of this boredom, not the perpetrator.
Exactly. Why is it my fault if the meeting is a snooze fest?
And that reaction is completely natural. We're conditioned to see meetings as something that happens to us.
Like bad weather or traffic?
Precisely. We see ourselves as passive recipients, but the source is arguing that this view is exactly why the meetings are terrible. They're offering what they call a liberating reframe.
Liberate. Okay. Sell me on that, because right now it just feels like more work.
Well, ideally, it's not more work, it's just different work. The whole idea is to explore this shift from what they call the spectator mindset to the contributor mindset.
Wait.
And the argument is that this shift doesn't just change the meeting for everyone else, it fundamentally changes your experience of your own job.
So it stops the suffering.
In a way, yes. It puts you in the driver's seat.
Okay, before we get into the how, let's define our terms. Because I think I know what a spectator looks like.
Oh, yeah.
I see them in the mirror sometimes. It's the camera off, microphone muted, maybe I'm folding laundry vibe.
The source paints a pretty clear and frankly uncomfortable picture. The spectator shows up, physically or digitally, but that's it.
The transaction ends there.
Right. They listen, maybe, they nod at the right times, but mostly they're in what the article calls endurance mode.
Endurance mode. That is
There.
such a perfect way to put it. You're just waiting for the clock to run out.
Exactly. And the moment the meeting ends, the spectator is messaging their work friend to complain about how pointless it was.
It's a very cynical position. But it's easy. It's easy to just sit back and critique.
It is, but it's also a powerless position. The internal thought is, I'm here because I have to be, and I'm suffering.
Right. Versus the contributor. Now, I want to be careful here, because when I hear that, I picture that one person who just loves the sound of their own voice.
We all know that person.
Is that who we're aiming to be? Because I don't want to be that guy.
No, and that is such a crucial distinction. Please do not be that guy. The contributor isn't the loudest voice.
Okay.
The difference is the intent, the energy. The source defines the contributor as someone who asks clarifying questions. They offer ideas, even half-baked ones.
So they're not just broadcasting, they're synthesizing. They're actually listening.
Precisely. They notice when the room is stuck.
Right.
But there's a deeper layer to this that I think is really important. The source emphasizes it's not just about what you say, it's your emotional posture.
Emotional posture. That phrase stuck out to me. Unpack that a little.
It means you can say the right words, you can ask a question. But if you're doing it with an attitude of resentment or just obligation...
People feel it.
Oh, absolutely. We're highly attuned to it.
We've all heard that passive-aggressive question, like, just so I'm clear, are we really going forward with this plan?
Exactly. The words are polite, but the tone is hostile. The source says tone and body language betray you. If you're there in body but not in spirit, the meeting becomes transactional.
Just exchanging data points.
But when you bring genuine presence, real curiosity, that's what makes a meeting transformational.
Okay, but devil's advocate for a second. That sounds great, but we are all exhausted. It takes a lot of energy to be that engaged. Is it really worth it?
That is the big question. Why bother? And this is where the data from the source really puts things into perspective. They cite research from Atlassian that's honestly a bit terrifying.
Late on me.
The average employee attends 62 meetings a month.
62? That's what, like 3 a day, every single day?
And it gets worse for leaders. Executives can spend up to 23 hours a week in meetings.
Wow. 23 hours. That's nearly 60% of their work week.
So let's do the math on that. If you are operating as a spectator, just enduring, zoning out for 60% of your week,
Then you're spending the majority of your professional life disengaged from your own work.
you're essentially sleepwalking through your career.
That hits hard. When you put it that way, it's not just hurting the meeting, it's a waste of your own life. It's self-sabotage.
Exactly. You are the one losing those hours. And this is where the reframe comes in. If you have to be there anyway, and the meeting is happening whether you engage or not, why not use it?
What do you mean, use it?
The source calls meetings a leadership laboratory.
I love that. A laboratory implies experimentation, that it's safe to try things.
It's the most frequent place you have to practice influence. You don't need a specific title to influence a room. Every meeting is a chance to model the culture you want to see.
So the question shifts from, is this meeting valuable,
To, am I adding value to this meeting?
bingo, that's the pivot. It puts the control back in your hands.
It does.
Okay, I'm sold on the why. But let's talk about the how. Because if I'm just tired, or I frankly don't care about the topic, snapping my fingers and becoming a contributor feels,
Easier said than done.
yeah. How do we make that internal shift without just faking it?
The source suggests a very practical tactic. It's called the pre-meeting pause.
Which is what, the 10-minute meditation. I don't have time for a yoga flow between my Zoom calls.
No, nothing that complex. It's literally taking 10 seconds, just 10 seconds, before you log in to consciously reset your mental state.
So you catch yourself in that default, another meeting mode.
And you flip the switch.
Okay, but what are we flipping it to? Because if I just tell myself, this will be great, my brain knows I'm lying.
Great. It's not about toxic positivity. The article suggests a few specific reframes. The first is moving from, why am I in this meeting, to what can I contribute?
That seems like the foundational one.
It is. But then it goes deeper. From, I have to be here, to, I get to be here.
Okay, pause. I have to push back on that one. I get to be in this budget review. That sounds a little bit like forced gratitude.
I know, it sounds a bit much. But think about the alternative. I have to puts you in a victim mindset. It implies you're powerless.
Okay.
I get to is about agency. It reminds you that you have a seat at the table, your opinion is valued, at least in theory, you're reclaiming your power, not jumping for joy.
So it's about acknowledging you aren't a prisoner.
Correct. Another one is moving from judgment to curiosity. Instead of thinking, this idea is stupid, you shift to, I wonder why they think that's the solution.
That's a good one. It turns you into a detective instead of a critic.
And the last one is moving from protecting my time to investing my presence.
Oh, that's big for me. I guard my calendar like a dragon.
We all do. But once you're in the room, the time is already spent. You can't hoard it anymore, so you might as well invest it. But, and this is a massive but, the source has a serious warning.
Which is
Authenticity. You cannot fake this.
right. We've all seen the person who read a management book, and now they're asking these performative questions. But what is the why behind this spreadsheet?
And it's painful to watch. It feels manipulative. If you are frustrated and just going through the motions, it won't work. The shift has to be genuine.
So don't just act like a contributor. Actually be one.
Exactly. If you can't find that spark of curiosity, it's better to just stay quiet.
Okay, so we've paused, we've checked our attitude, now we're in the meeting. What do we actually say? The source says you don't have to be the smartest person in the room.
This is one of my favorite parts. It breaks the tools down into two simple categories, curiosity and courage.
Let's start with curiosity. I think people assume contributing means having all the answers.
It's a huge misconception. Contributing is often about asking the right question.
Yeah.
The source gives scripts like, help me understand what you mean by.
Simple enough.
Or the classic improv yes and, like, yes and what if we also considered? It builds rather than blocks. But my favorite curiosity tool is just naming confusion.
Tell me more. Because usually if I'm confused, I just assume I'm the only one and I stay quiet to avoid looking dumb.
That's the spectator fear. The script is so simple. I'm not following. Can someone help me connect these dots?
That feels risky, especially with leadership in the room.
It feels risky, but it's actually a service. 9 times out of 10, if you're confused, 3 other people are too. You're not looking stupid. You're clarifying the path for everyone.
You're taking one for the team.
You are, so that's curiosity. The other tool is courage.
Okay, and this is about speaking up when it's scary.
It can be. One great script is offering an incomplete idea.
So giving yourself permission to not be perfect.
Right. We wait until our idea is bulletproof, but by then the conversation has moved on. A contributor says, I'm still working this out, but what about... It invites collaboration.
I like that. It lowers the bar for entry.
It does. And then there's the courage to name the elephant in the room.
Like saying, is anyone else concerned about the timeline?
Or, we've always done it this way, but is that still serving us? Those are the questions that actually move things forward.
But let's be real, depending on your boss, that can be dangerous.
It requires emotional intelligence, for sure. You have to read the room. But this is where real leadership happens.
There's one more tool under courage that surprised me. Genuine appreciation.
Yes.
Really, just saying, good job. Yeah. It feels a little like fluff.
Well, it has to be more specific than good job. It's saying, that's a really insightful point. I hadn't considered that angle.
Okay.
It validates the other person. It encourages quiet people to speak up. It builds psychological safety.
So we're using these tools. What happens to the room? The article talks about a ripple effect.
This is where the magic happens. When you shift, you give everyone else permission to do the same.
It's contagious.
It really is. Your question makes it safe for someone else to ask theirs. Your willingness to say, I'm confused, allows others to drop their guard. You change the energy in the room.
You change the internal monologue of the room.
Completely. Without the contributor mindset, the room is thinking, this is boring. This is broken. It's diagnostic.
Just admiring the problem.
Exactly. But with the contributor mindset, you shift to, I notice we're stuck. What if we tried? You're moving toward a solution.
And I imagine this does wonders for your career. Who would you rather have on your team?
The source makes that point explicitly. Consistent contributors become the people leaders want in every room. Not because they're loud, but because they make the conversation better just by being there.
It's a massive career differentiator.
It is.
It's funny, we started this by talking about hating meetings. But this isn't really about meetings at all, is it?
No, not really. The meeting is just the stage. This is about how you show up to your life and your work.
Leading from your seat, I love that. You don't need the title to change the culture.
Exactly. You are the culture. Every time you check out, you diminish it. Every time you lean in, you build it.
So for everyone listening who is probably dreading their next meeting, let's give them something specific. The article lays out a weekly challenge.
Yes, and I love how simple it is. Before, during, and after.
Walk us through it.
Step 1. Before the meeting, pause. Do that check-in. Shift from obligation to contribution.
Step 2. During the meeting.
The goal is just to ask at least one clarifying question and offer one idea, even if it's incomplete. Just 2 things.
That seems manageable. One question, one idea.
Yeah.
And step 3.
After. Just notice. Notice the difference in how the meeting felt to you. Did it go faster? Did you feel less drained?
I bet you feel less drained. Engagement is actually energizing.
It is. Consumption is passive. Creation is active. We feel better when we're creating, even if it's just a better conversation.
So that's the challenge for you, the listener. The next time you see a calendar invite and feel that groan, catch it.
Remember, the meeting is happening whether you engage or not.
You get to decide if you are a consumer or a creator. Stop waiting for the agenda to inspire you.
Bring the presence that transforms the room. You are the culture.
Thanks for diving in with us. We'll see you next time.